Hello everybody. I think the title of this video will be Indoor Cycling Workouts, What to Notice. So here's 4 variables that can affect your basically the quality of your indoor cycling workouts. So the first one is time on the bike. So how long are you cycling continuously without stopping? And this is a little bit different from an outdoor cycling workout because like if you're cycling outdoors, you're more focused on the distance you're covering. Like, let's say it's a 25-mile bike ride or a 40-mile bike ride or a 60-mile bike ride. And you've got other variables like how heavy your bike is and the width of your tires and what kind of tires you have, knobby tires, and all kinds of stuff like the wind resistance and the surface you're riding on all can affect how much of an effort you're making on the bike. But indoors, you've got a few variables to think about. So one of them is, again, time on the bike. And I just assume that if you're going to be cycling indoors, it's going to be continuous. But that's up to you, of course. But if you're going on a long bike ride outdoors, you might want to stop and drink some water and get off the bike, have a snack or whatever you want to do. But if it's a really long all-day ride, definitely you should get off and eat and walk around a bit or something, do something a bit different. But back onto the actual indoor cycling. So just assuming that your cycling is continuous without interruption, some of the variables are time cycling, like if it's a 1-hour ride or 45-minute ride or whatever. And I always do a warm-up before I even start, counting the timing. But then the other one is resistance. How high is your resistance that you're pedaling against? That you can vary that usually with an indoor stationary cycle. The third one is how fast are you pedaling? That's also called cadence or pedal revolutions per minute. So every time, let's say, for example, that your right foot goes down to the bottom of the pedal stroke, that's 1. So when it comes back up to the top, that's 1/2, and then all the way back down again, that's 2. I mean, that's, 1 more, right? Anyway, but another one that is important so I mentioned pedaling speed, pedaling resistance, and time on the bike, but the temperature is another one. Like, do you have it really hot? And do you have a fan blowing fresh air on you, or are you kind of like breathing your own carbon dioxide in like a cloud around you? So those are something. And then some other things, though, to notice while you're cycling. Here's another list. So the things I notice are a few of them. One of them is my breathing is one of the number one things I like to notice is this really getting me breathing a lot? Like, is it difficult? Am I breathing fast and hard and deep? Like strenuous breathing. But even if it's not, I'm usually doing some high quality breathing that's going to affect the quality of my breathing all day long when I'm off the bike after the workout. Because when you work out and, exercise your breathing abilities, it just gives you better breathing all day long. So breathing is one, sweating is another. Like, how much are you sweating? Are you sweating a lot or, but that can be affected by the temperature. Like if you have the air conditioning on and a fan blowing on you, or it's winter and you've got a fan blowing on you and the room is cold anyway, because you're not using the heat just so you can cycle colder, that's going to affect how much you sweat. But another important one, so I mentioned breathing and sweating, is how your muscles feel. Like if you're really going at it, pedaling fast at really high resistance, your muscles will start burning, and so I get like this burning feeling up by my legs, your quadriceps and all that, but it's not just isolated muscles. I like to think of it as my whole legs too. So, that's important too, is how your muscles feel. Your muscles feel like they're really getting well exercised. That's nice. I mean, so those are kind of the 3 things that I like to notice, that I definitely will notice. And then, you can just feel like your circulation, like in your head and your brain and all that, the cycling you do helps your whole body. So that's a great thing. I don't want to make this video too long. I'll try to cut it off before 5, but 5 minutes, that is. Anyway, all is well. I'm doing great with my workouts. Looking forward to a lot more. Probably another one pretty early in the day tomorrow. Got some things planned up. So I'm really excited about it. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for enjoying this video if you are, and have a great time.